Alright, y'all. Welcome to BC and DC. It's 24th of March. That was a little snippet of one of my favorite songs. You can check it out, look it up. It's God of Thunder, and it's done by, it's a tribute to Kiss. It's a Kiss song, but it's done with Rob Zombie / Gilby Clarke, Scott Ian, Tommy Lee, and Ace Frehley. So if you don't know who any of those people are, you probably wouldn't be into it in the first place, maybe. But those are members of great bands such as, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, Anthrax, Rob Zombie, of course, White Zombie, and what the fuck is Gilby Clarke in? Oops, forget. Anyway, let's see. Doesn't matter. Anyway, point being, I'm just down here in Bay's basement recording again. And because there's about a month left that I can be recording here, and then I'm going to have to move my operation to the new house and set it up there. So won't have this old family lineage. I'll have to create a new family lineage. And I guess I'm starting off okay because I'm doing a good percentage of the build. Framing it, I'm roofing it, and then we're going to but it's through a Highline. And so they're going to be doing, they already did the foundation. They'll be doing the electrical, plumbing, insulation, drywall, and I'll take over from there and do all the cabinets and painting and light fixtures and plumbing fixtures and what have you, and finish her up. That'll take a while. So we won't be moving in like we thought to a done house. It'll be partly done, so it'll be done in time. So anyway, that's where I'm at, and I guess I could probably curse now because it's been past a minute or so. I can't remember what the thing is. You're not supposed to curse on the 3 minutes of YouTube, and that's why they played a snippet of that song, because you can only play like 10 seconds of a song, and otherwise you'll get flagged and all this other crap, which I don't understand, because there's a lot of videos out there on YouTube of people just watching other videos or listening to other songs, and all they do is comment, and you watch people watching shit. It's interesting to say the least, but the fact that they can do it and not get in trouble by YouTube, but I don't get all the rules. Maybe that's the point, is there's too many fucking rules, and it's it only benefits those that they like. Because if you have a differing opinion than what YouTube wants you to have, then they'll shut you down or flag you, which is insane. One of my favorite shows recently in my podcast world over the past year is Andrew Schultz. It's Flagrant 2 with Andrew Schultz and singing Akash. I always butcher his name. But anyway, they had this guy on named Alex Jones, and if you guys don't know who he is, he's a polarizing figure, I guess they would say, but I think it's because he's his delivery, he's intense, and but he's funnier and shit, but he also points out a lot of flaws. That he also got in trouble for Sandy Hook and saying that wasn't real and those were actors, and which it obviously wasn't, but he's been right on a lot of other things. And so it's one of those things of like, so he got canceled for saying one thing that's wrong when he said, hundreds of other things that were right. And I think that's where our society's at right now. It's so funny that the old terminology was throwing out the baby with the bathwater, and it's ridiculous. It's like everyone was hung up on Russia there, especially if you're on the left side. You were hung up on Russia. And we all know the reality is that China is the actual problem. Ooh, you don't want to say that, though, because it could be deemed offensive, but it's okay if you're offensive towards Russia, but it's not okay if you're offensive towards China. And it's like, well, why is that? And they say, it's because they're a minority in our country. It's like, so are Russians. You don't seem to have a problem with that. But they're not the problem. I mean, they are a problem, but not the problem. Like, our biggest problem is China as far as, like, towards American finances and so on. They want to take over, and so if there's anything to worry about, it'd be them. But we didn't want to hear that, or some of you didn't want to hear that, because it came out of came out of Trump's mouth, and you didn't like it because you didn't like him. So it's stupid. So it's like, if you don't like someone, but yet they're speaking the truth, you're going to go the opposite direction just because you don't like them. That is the dumbest shit ever. It really, really is. Like, you know, just because you don't like someone doesn't mean that you can't agree with them. You know? I think when we create our little teams out there, we're showing a huge lack of intelligence. And it's some of the dumbest shit ever. You know, the idea of canceling each other, and, you know, I have opinions on this show that I broadcast, or whatever the fuck you want to say, that I put videos out, or and the reason I'm doing videos too is because I still haven't hooked up my audio stuff. I'm recording it, but I haven't renewed my thing with who is it? I forget their name. Libsyn, I think I was using. Anywho, I'll probably find a different avenue, and I'm thinking about doing some different shows too, like motocross and supercross, because that's the sport I'm really into, and I know a good amount about it, enough to be dangerous. And yeah, I've been thinking about doing that. Like Rogan does MMA shows, I should do some motocross shows, and it's not because I want to copy him. It has nothing to do with that. I was just watching some motocross shows and thinking same thing as when I first started watching podcasts or listening to them, like, oh, I could add to this and say some things that aren't being said. Speaking of which, ironic, I'm on social media. Well, this will be posted on social media, I guess. And I have, well, I think it's with all things, like, you know, all things have a positive and a negative to them. And, you know, there's definitely huge negatives to social media that people are just becoming to realize. And, but there are benefits and there are good things about it, right? It serves a dual purpose, like most things in life. It's up to you what you do with it, and how you treat it is how it's going to develop. And, you know, the funny thing is like none of us are owning any of that responsibility when it goes awry. We always point a finger instead of saying, yeah, I fucked that one up. It's just better to say I screwed up and move on. That's how you change and become a better person. It's one of those things of like, you know, I say this because I've fucked up plenty. I still fuck up often, and I own them, and it is what it is. There's things that I've been accused of that I definitely didn't do, or were mistaken or misunderstood, and that upsets me because, you know, I know what my intentions are, and when they're misunderstood, it's unfortunate not to be able to resolve them. But, you know, you can't always have that in life, you know, the resolutions. Some people want to make a determination about you and just go with it, and that's that, because, you know, they've made up their mind already about who you are and what you represent, and you can do nothing to change that because they won't allow you to. So rather than beating your head against it, just accept it and let it be. That's where I've been out with a few things with some people, and it sucks, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, so, you know, something I really wanted to talk about is this new era of people, you know, I guess it's not that new, but it's just this simulation world that a lot of us are living in. And there's really a lot of good reasons for it. And, you know, it's simple for me to put on the so-called psychology hat and then look at it from a distance, because I guess I've watched people my whole life because of how fucked up my life was. I've kind of become to realize that I observe to understand. And a lot of the things I understand are very uncomfortable about our human nature. Well, the reason why so many of us are addicted to social media, let's just go there, rather than the obvious, you know, the dopamine hits you get out of watching your phone, or maybe picking up Facebook and getting a lot of likes or whatever it is. I think it's just that. It's a simulation world. In a sense, the Matrix, whatever you want to call it. And it's where you can go and become whoever you want to be, put a filter on your face, make yourself look different, put in a bio that's completely untrue, catfish, do whatever. You can become different than who you are. And there's a certain power there, and there's a definite attraction there for a lot of people. And I understand. It makes sense. I mean, I've said for a long time, I don't like being me. I don't like my life. But I always try to remind myself to make the best of it. And that's the overwhelming message I will give to anybody. Life is a lot of times gives you a lot of lemons, and you better learn how to make some fucking lemonade. You know, it's just the reality. Life's not perfect for anybody, and it never will be. Everything has its problems. Everything has its layers. You know, it's I guess I won't go too far off what I was going to talk about. But anyway, the point being is that we can escape to that world, right? Because, well, we're more the person we want to be or wish we could be, right? And instead of giving that power up to social media, instead of giving that power up to these things, we should actually really take control and become that person you want to be. You know, at least give it your best fucking shot. What do you got to lose, right? Rather than being lonely and just sitting looking at your fucking computer or your phone, you could be out there doing something and being something, you know, and fuck this COVID stuff, whatever. Just go out there and do it. Don't let that hold you back. Don't let anything ever hold you back from life. You know, it's one of those things I've really begun to realize, which my experiences with life and death, it's just, yeah, you can be morbid and say we're all born to die, and that's true. We will all die eventually, so why rush it? But at the same time, I say, you better live while you're here, too. So if there's something you ever wanted to do, you better fucking do it. Because tick, 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 you know? It's like with myself, like I've realized that by losing my son, along with my other bullshit past, life has kind of taken my smile away. I know how to laugh still. I watch plenty of things make me laugh, and I know how to do that, and I'm still capable of laughing. But this weird frown I wear, and I notice it, and it's upsetting because it's like I don't know how to not be this. It's just yeah. I don't need a pity party, but I will say that I'm obviously forever changed by losing my son, and not just his loss of life, but it was how it happened, and me discovering him. I'm constantly haunted by those memories, and it's extremely difficult to deal with, to say the least. And you know, I'm out and about, I'll see any dad with any boy, especially if they're holding them, and it's all I can do not to cry, and most times I just find my way to my truck and then I do cry. Yeah, it's fucking difficult. So, for those people that are wondering what it's like to be a parent of a child that died young, what it's like, well, it's going to be like what it's like if you ever experience it, and I hope you don't. But what it's like for me, it's, like I said, I'm fucking devastated, being honest. But like I said, I'm not defeated, and I'm not going to give up, because, well, that'd be fucking selfish. And I got people relying on me, and for some fucking reason, people that love me. And so, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. And keeping busy helps. I've been working my ass off. I think about like 2 months straight now without having a day off, and today I kind of crashed. One of my nail guns jammed at work, and I couldn't get it fixed, and so I left the job, and I did some other things, and I came home to eat something late, and I ended up just like going, I'm so damn tired, and I fell asleep on the couch for a couple hours, and I kind of felt like shit, so I just took the rest of the day off, even though I still worked like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, which, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so it's funny because I get plenty of people that have looked to me for advice on a lot of different things when it comes to life and death, and or what they sometimes should do with their own lives. And before, when I first started this, I was super reluctant to give my advice, and I'm not anymore, because you can take it or leave it, and it's not like you have to do what I say, or even the responsibility of me thinking even if you do what I say and it doesn't work, I guess you wouldn't be asking me if you didn't think that I had something to offer. And what I can say to a lot of you that are addicted to social media and that life is just try exposing yourself to real life. Try doing those things in real life. Try being whatever that is in your fake life, in your real life. And one other thing that's really important is to concentrate more on you. Worrying about what others do or comparing yourself to others, you're always going to lose, because it's a defeatist attitude from the beginning. It's fine to look at others for inspiration. That's great. That's perfect. But that's it. You should never sit there and say, oh, well, there's not enough room in this market for me. Like, I've done that to myself plenty of times, where like, oh, I can't start a business because they're already out there. That's stupid. Or I can't start a podcast because there's already podcasts out there. So fucking what? And so what if it doesn't get listened to right away, or it never does? Just do it. Do whatever it is you want to do, because that's the secret to life, is you get one shot at this fucking thing. Just one that I know of. We may have been reincarnated, but I don't remember it. So maybe for those of you out there that do, awesome, congrats. But it's this thing, is if you're so unsatisfied with where you're at, then fucking do something about it. And I've watched so many people that blame others for their lack of life, when it's staring them right in their face. It's them. It's always going to be you. You're your own problem. Always will be. Always, 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 always. When you say someone else made you angry, so you're going to give up your power and say that they can control your thoughts and mind. Speaking of, I guess that's the kind of thing that I was kind of, that I still get passionate about, is that thought control. And I guess that's where we're at with this PC world. And for those of you that think the PC is great, go fuck yourself. Even if you're a friend of mine, I love you, but go fuck yourself, because that shit is stupid. Because all that is telling someone else what they can and cannot think or say, and that's total bullshit. There's one beautiful thing about a human existence, and that is you have the control of your mind. Well, hopefully. Some of us do. I sure fucking don't. But if you do, you know what I mean? They're your thoughts. You own them. No one else. And no one else can tell you what to think. I get so upset about this, because it's one of those things of like, the person that's telling someone else what to think, they wouldn't want that done to them. You know what I mean? It's like the dumbest shit ever. It's like, how dare you tell someone else how to live or what to do when you don't want that done to you? But if someone comes to you for advice, that's different. But this idea that we can just tell everyone else how to live and all this kind of shit, well, you can't say that. That's hate speech. Fuck you. Is that hate speech? I sure hope so, because go fuck yourself. Don't tell me what to fucking say. Don't tell me what to fucking think. That's beyond not right. No. You don't have the right to tell someone else what to think or what to say. The best way to get rid of dumb speech, the best way to get rid of something that you may know to be true against something that is a false, is to bring it out in the open and let it breathe on its own. If it's a dumb idea, it'll fail on its own, because plenty of people will put it into practice or talk about it, that they'll realize it's a dumb idea. That's why you expose that shit, you know? This idea of putting it under wraps and saying you can't say it or think it, well, it only makes it fester and put people into those group thoughts, those little circles of, like, you know, those whatever, tribes. They're dangerous. You know it and I know it. So, with that, one, stop trusting politicians. They're all fucking liars. You know, when I was a kid, and yeah, I grew up in the late 70s and 80s. I started going to grade school in the late 70s, and finished high school 91. So I would say this: when I was a kid, lawyers, car salesmen, sorry guys, women, and politicians were considered untrustworthy people, right? What the hell happened? When did we think that all of a sudden that politicians were our best friends and they were there to save us? When I was a kid, we knew they were dirty fuckers. We knew they lied. Didn't we? I thought we did. I thought it was a pretty understood thing. And now we trust them? Really? Why? When have they shown to be trustworthy? That would be never. It's just moronic to me. And then we sit there and say how we've become so tribal with this political thing, and it's like it's so divisive among people. It's the fucking stupidest shit ever, and it's working only for politicians. Don't you guys see that shit? It's not that we need even a third party. We need to blow up the system to a certain extent. It was never meant to be a two-party system. It should be multiple parties. Really, there shouldn't be parties to a certain extent. There definitely shouldn't be a lobbyism. The way that we elect our officials is beyond moronic. We're getting people into positions that they only abuse and lie to your face, and I don't know. The system is obviously broken, but it's one of those things, like I talk to people about, is like, even if you know that, what are you going to do about it, you know? I guess we have the power of the vote still, but it's still like the power of the vote is so construed and controlled that we vote for the things they want us to vote for, and this they stuff, I guess, is kind of a... But I guess it's just any person that has power has a hard time relinquishing it. It's a human thing. I'll say one more thing about humanity, and then I think I'll be done with this. We think we're special, right? All of us. Every person thinks they're special. The reality is we're not. We're just not. You're unique, for sure. 1,000% you're unique. There's no one else ever going to be like you ever. Even if they look just like you, they will not ever think just like you. They won't. Just won't. So, just like a snowflake, we're all individual. We're not snowflakes. But we're all born unique as fuck. But this idea that we all have a purpose in life, and we all have a special place to be and to do and accomplish and all this kind of bullshit, I know that not to be true. Just because of my own personal life, the loss of my son, and all these other things that you can't give me an answer for. We're an animal. People forget that. And if you look at all the other animals in the animal kingdom, their lives are very simple to a certain extent, right? They gather food, they create shelters, and some do, some don't. Some are nomadic, whatever. But the point is that there's a lot of predator and prey out there, and some of the predator even become prey at times. Just depends on the other animal, right? We forget that we're part of the animal kingdom, and the animals kill to survive. A lot of them. Others don't. but they are the ones that generally then are the prey. So there is a system there that's been in place for a very long time that is Mother Nature. And we somehow think that we don't fit into that because we think. Well, no, that's not what separates us from the animal kingdom. Animals think. There's proof. They think, for sure. Oh, we communicate. Well, they communicate too. For sure. There's fact. Dolphins, whales, whatever you want to say, there's ways of all kinds of animals that communicate with each other, whether it's verbal, nonverbal, or whatever. The point being, we even know that plants communicate now. So we know shit communicates. And so those vegans out there that thought, oh, I'm not eating something that's alive. Oops, guess again. So the thing of it is like we think we're so special because of thought. And it's like, no, they have thought. And if you've seen a squirrel get hit by a car, and then all of a sudden another squirrel's on the side of the road looking, and then sometimes goes up to the dead body and just can't figure it out and is all confused. You tell me that squirrel's not thinking and not feeling loss? Yeah. So what makes us special? Well, nothing. The only thing that separates us from the other animal world, really, is that we build shit. That's it. I mean, some say we philosophize. Is that a word? I think so. Which is what I do a lot. But I'm not sure if that serves us for life. It may keep us occupied. May keep our minds, whatever, occupied or in control, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say there. But the point is we just make things. That's the thing that separates us from other animals. And so that's maybe part of the problem is like we don't kill our food anymore. And maybe that's why we're so willing to kill each other, whether it be verbally or we cancel them so they can't make a living. We're more vicious than ever. And it's maybe because we don't gather our own food anymore. And we're not actually striving for actual survival and scared of the outside world and a wolf chasing you or something. And now we have all those same animal instincts we've always had we can't get rid of. And so we're so quickly to lash out and destroy each other. It's pretty fucking disturbing. But we're an animal. We're so smart, right? But really we're not. We're smart enough to manipulate ourselves. I always said that. I think that human beings have a great knack of being smart enough to outsmart ourselves. We're so fucking good at it. Really good at it. Anyway, on that, I'm going to play a little more of this song. Hope I won't get in trouble. Hope you guys like it. And if not, what do I care? Yeah, awesome fucking song. Alright, I'm out. See you guys. I'm going to stop this one. And now I'm going to stop this one.